So I have the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra as well as the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra. I'm currently using the latest one. I've used the previous one for the past year. So I want to share with you guys my thoughts, experience, and opinions of both of these devices, whether you want to call it comparison, whatever it may be. But let's start things off with design of both of these. So very similar yet subtle differences. The main differences with the S25 Ultra from its predecessor is now it has flat frames and rounded corners. And the reason why I personally like that is when you're holding it, it doesn't really dig into the palm of your hand versus the Galaxy S24 Ultra. Yes, it does have, rounded frames right here, which isn't too bad, but it has those flat corners, which really does dig more into the palm, and you can actually kind of, I don't know, after a long period of time, it's not the most comfortable, but the S25 Ultra isn't like that. It just isn't as sharp. I'll put it that way, and I want to use that word, isn't as sharp. Now, each frame is built out of titanium, so do keep that in mind. When we come to the display, we get a slightly larger 6.9-inch Quad HD dynamic AMOLED display with the S25 Ultra. Still 120 Hertz, still 2,600 nits of peak brightness, but we're now getting Corning Gorilla Armor 2 with anti-reflective coating. Now, I do have a screen protector on this, so it's not as reflective, and I'll tell you the reason why I did that is with this one, yes, it's anti-reflective, but there's lots of scratches, like a little too much, and it is really annoying. It kind of destroys the aesthetic of the phone itself. So this year, I at least have started to use a screen protector with my Galaxy S25 Ultra, and I'm not using an ultrasonic fingerprint sensor or anything like that. As of right now, I don't need it, but maybe in the future, I probably will. We'll see. And then the S Pen. The S Pen has a little bit of a difference. This one right here, first of all, when you pop it out, it's a different color, but it also removed the Bluetooth functionality. So there's no more Bluetooth in the S25 Ultra's S Pen, so you can't use those air gestures anymore. And the S24 Ultra, the S Pen right here, it doesn't work with, or it doesn't slide inside the S25 Ultra right here. It just won't really fit, as you can see. There you go. Yeah, it's not going to fit at all. So fortunately, it doesn't work. So if you wanted to get some sort of like air gesture feature, it's not going to happen. That's unfortunate. Apparently, Samsung said that like less than 1% or 1% of users use the air gestures. So the other 99% doesn't use it. That's why they got rid of it. We won't really know. I guess that's what it is. I don't really, I guess it seems logical. I don't really buy it, but nonetheless, my experience with it is like, I don't care. But the fact that, we know this and Samsung is removing a feature still doesn't look good for them. But for me, I don't really mind it too much. I didn't use it before. Doesn't really matter for me. So I just wanted to point that out there as well. If that is something for you, you're probably going to have to pass on the Galaxy S25 Ultra. But everything else about the design is very similar. Like, it's an Ultra. You're gonna know it's an Ultra. And then, cameras. We get camera rings around the S25 Ultra, and that's really the most distinguishable thing about the new device. So there's that too. But I like the feel in the hand opposed to the Galaxy S24 Ultra. I like it much better. It's really a preference thing. It's you really like it or you really don't. And for me, I like the new design with the Galaxy S25 Ultra. Now, when we come to performance, there is improvements in the performance department, but how is it on a day-to-day basis? They're both awesome, and I don't even think you'll notice a difference, like a huge difference from day-to-day performance. I haven't. You probably won't either. Yes, the numbers are better on the Snapdragon 8 Elite with the Galaxy S25 Ultra, but is that really going to affect the way you use the phone? No, it's not. Now, it also includes a 40% larger vapor chamber compared to the Galaxy S24 Ultra, but the S24 Ultra was also good with like heat dissipation and things like that because this had a 1.9x larger vapor chamber than the S23 Ultra. And I never experienced any overheating with the S24 Ultra, and I have yet to experience it with the S25. So both of them have been good on the performance aspect. They both have 12 gigs of RAM. They both have the same amount of storage. My models each have half a terabyte of storage. They're both buttery smooth. The Galaxy S25 Ultra ships with Android 15 One UI 7, whereas the S24 Ultra, at the time of this recording, any day now is going to come equipped with One UI 7 Android 15, but I do have the beta, so it's nothing new to me, but I love the new design, refresh, overhaul, whatever you want to call it, with all the new AI features too. And let's get to AI, because I don't use it that much. Like, the only AI feature I'll use on Samsung devices has been, at least up until this point, the object eraser. That's really it. But I have been using Samsung's Now Brief at the bottom, where it just shows like the weather and just gives you like one piece of news for the day, and that's really it. They could improve on that, but that's kind of what I've been using. And yeah, I don't really see myself using any other AI features. Of course, I'm going to be testing them, but will I be able to implement them in my daily workflow? That's to be determined. I haven't been able to do it with the S24 Ultra, so we'll see if I can do it with the new features of the S25 Ultra. But I also want to share with you guys this. These AI features are only available for free until the end of 2025, and then Samsung is going to start charging you for using those AI features. We don't know what the pricing is or anything like that, and they're very discreet about it. And I'm sure there's still many people who don't know. A lot of people already do, but many people who don't know that these AI features will go away at the end of 2025 if you don't pay for whatever price they'll ask for. So we'll see what happens by the end of the year. But I just wanted to point that out. Everything else about the devices in the performance department, fairly similar. I'm not running Geek benchmark scores or playing games side by side to see the difference, because on a day-to-day performance, I'm watching YouTube videos, I'm browsing the web, I'm calling, I'm texting, using it for social media consumption, and neither of them have stuttered, have lagged. Both of them have performed very well in my use case. So I think there's no reason to look at the S25 Ultra if you have the S24 Ultra and you're like a performance geek. So there's that. And cameras are going to be a little bit different. Some improvements here with the cameras, which I personally do appreciate. Now with the Galaxy S25 Ultra, we're getting a new 50 megapixel ultra wide. The S24 Ultra does not have that 50 megapixel. I believe it's still at 12 megapixels. And you know, the results are good. The results are great actually on the S24 Ultra and the S25 Ultra. But I do appreciate the ultra wide, because yes, while it does pixel bin at 12 megapixels, like default when you open up ultra wide, it's going to be at 12 megapixels. So you do have to switch. Let's go to 0.6x. You do have to switch to the 50 megapixel mode right here, but the results are much crisper. I do appreciate it, and the ultra wide has been one of the camera lenses I've been using more often, and I'm happy with the results. Now, I've gotten some questions. Does the S25 Ultra still have that shutter lag like the S24 Ultra did? Yeah, it does. If you're gonna use this phone for like fast moving objects, like you have like a dog, you have a cat that's, I don't know, really hyperactive, you wanna take photos of like your kids playing sports or anything like that, or you're in the car and you're just taking pictures outside, whatever it may be, of moving things, good luck. I tried it, it's not great. I mean, if I take a picture of these Galaxy Buds right here, they're sitting still, it'll be fine. But if I'm taking a picture of me trying to like move it around, it's not going to come out that great. So there is that. I hope they can fix that. Maybe with a software update, we'll see. But other than, you know, the ultra wide, there's really no huge difference in the camera performance. I mean, they're still great. They're still really vibrant. They have those Samsung hues to it. So if that's you, if you still want the 100x zoom, if you like 200 megapixel main camera, then yeah, both these cameras are going to perform. But I don't really see a need to upgrade just because of that new 50 megapixel ultra wide with the Galaxy S25 Ultra. The battery department is essentially the same. Well, kind of. the specs are the same. We're still getting a 5,000 milliamp hour battery in the S25 Ultra, same as its predecessor. We're still getting 45 watts of wire charging and 25 watts of wireless charging. However, the efficiency of the Snapdragon 8 Elite has proven to be a little bit better in battery life. I'm getting about 30 to 45 minutes more of screen on time as when compared to the Galaxy S24 Ultra. But this was a battery champ in 2024, still performs like a champ. This one still performs like a champ, and I've been using it at this point like a week and a half-ish. So it's been doing very well so far. And I don't need to worry about battery life. Like I can go out, be outside all day, come home with like 35, 40% battery, and I can still use it for the rest of the evening, the rest of the night. I don't need to charge it overnight or anything like that. But one of my complaints was like, look, this is an Ultra phone. Can we have Ultra specs in the S25 Ultra, Ultra battery specs, like a 6,000 milliamp hour battery? Can we have 80 watts of wired charging? Nope, we didn't get that. We didn't get any improvements in the spec sheets, but because of the efficiency of the Snapdragon 8 Elite, we're getting a little bit better battery life. Is that a reason to upgrade? No, because this still performs like a champ. Now, when it comes to pricing, there's been no change in the MSRP with the S25 Ultra, but with the S24 Ultra, there's definitely been a drop, and it's going to be on sale because of its successor being out on the market now. And you know, $1,300 is expensive. It's an expensive price for both of these phones. When this came out, it was expensive. When this has come out last week, it was expensive, still is expensive. I would recommend picking these devices up when they are on sale, not at MSRP. Because here's what I have to say, kind of wrapping things up and then answering the question, should you pick up the Galaxy S25? This is a great phone, and it's one of my favorite phones right now. I think I'm going to be switching back to this because of just the stability of the performance and the reliability and how well it performs every single department. But does it really hold true to the Ultra name to it this year? I don't know, because for me and for a lot of other people, Ultra means like the best of the best specs, the best numbers, the best everything. But then there's also this too. It's a great phone, even if it doesn't have, you know, the biggest battery capacity, or it doesn't have the best display quality, or it doesn't have IP69 rating. It still has a beautiful display. It still has IP68 dust and water resistance. Like, it still has things, but they're not just at the top notch, if you see what I mean. I don't know. I wish Samsung went all in. Maybe they're cost cutting. I don't know what it is, but they're playing really safe this year. And I recently watched Marquez's video on the S25 Ultra review, and he was saying how the tables have turned. And I kind of see what he means about that, how the tables have turned from this being one of the greatest phones in 2024 to the S25 Ultra being like, you know, it's a solid phone, but there are other options. Now, should you pick up the S25 Ultra? Well, yeah, you definitely should. If you don't have the S24 Ultra, even the S23 Ultra, and some may argue the S22 Ultra. If you have those 2-3 phones, I still don't see a reason to pick up the Galaxy S25 Ultra, because phones have gotten so good over the years, there is no reason to upgrade every single year. Now, if you are out in the market looking for a brand new phone to spend 5-6 years, or you just want to switch from iPhone to Android, you want to switch from Google to Samsung, whatever it may be, then this is definitely a phone to consider. And here in the US, how many other competitors do we have? We have the iPhones, we have the Pixels, we have OnePlus and Samsungs, but how accessible are those other competitors? Not as easy as Apple and Google and Samsung in your carrier stores. So, you know, Samsung's playing it safe. And I kind of wish they went Ultra, but it's a great phone. My SIM card is in here. I love it. I think it's still going to be one of my top phones of 2025. We still have long ways to go. But if you have S24 Ultra, skip on it. Don't pick it up. Maybe wait for S26 Ultra. Maybe Samsung might listen and truly make it, bring back the Ultra moniker. Bring back the Ultra meaning to the phone We'll see, but I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, definitely be sure to superman the like button, comment down below, and best of all, share this video because it really does help out the channel out a lot. Will help push my content out to more people. If you want to check out my wallpaper packs, they'll be in the links in the description down below, as well as my Notion templates that help me get work done here on MTG, as well as my other YouTube channels and my business. That's been it for me. I hope you guys did enjoy. That was another phone that just fell, the Galaxy S24. Comparison video coming very soon. Stay tuned to the channel. That's been it for me, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.